give their all in this sanctuary where dreams ignite. Music's power burning bright. Rockin' interviews, stories shared, chill hangouts, no time spared. From soulful whispers to a roaring sound, music unites on hallowed ground. Glick's house of music, a place to be for every heart, wild and free. Music's embrace, forever strong, a symphony of life all night long.
What's the weather like in Denver? It's not important, but I'd like to know. This damned old interstate is giving me heartaches, and Lord, do I hope it snows. I'm headed back from Austin to Palo in Tennessee. These stage lights blind my eyes, and darling, you're all I see. So put another log on the fire in that cabin on the mountainside, and I'll sing you old John Prine by the firelight. Oh, how your long brown hair was shining as you spun around the room, and I can see you dancing for me as I drive through the night. I'll be home soon, darling. You can dance for me tonight. Remember that cabin in Estes? It was a bright yet cloudy day. I was hiking through, and you were too. The snow came falling when I ran into you. When this highway's out from under me, my journey will be through. There's only one road to my happiness, and I'm on my way to you. Put another log on the fire in that cabin on the mountainside, and I'll sing you old John Prine by the firelight. Oh, how your long brown hair was shining as you spun around the room. I can see you dancing for me as I serenade into the night. I'll be home soon, darling. You can dance for me tonight. I'll be home soon, darling. You can dance for me tonight.
Ooh, what is going on, guys? Happy Tuesday and welcome to Glick's House of Music, your unofficial backstage pass right here on the Nonsensical Network. If you're not already, go ahead and check us out, bio.link/Nonsensical Network. All them links is there. Give us a follow, give us a like, give us a share. I know it's not usual that I start the show out with kind of a slower song, but surprisingly, believe it or not, I'm a big old teddy bear, and sometimes I'm a big old softy. And if you don't like it, suck it. Sit down and watch the show anyways. But got my man Eli and the Faster Horses. If you like country and western and a good old honky-tonkin song, you're going to like them, and you're going to like my man Eli. What's going on, brother? Welcome to the show.
I'm doing well, man. Shit, I haven't listened to that song. You know, when you're doing your own thing, you get your ears pinned back and you don't listen to your own stuff as much, or you're so used to playing it like you get the band version. But I sitting down and listening to it, I was like, man, I kind of fell back in love with the song again. I was like, damn, it's kind of cool.
It's a great song, dude. I was telling you backstage before we started, you know, that was for whatever, shout out to Instagram. Instagram is, they do their thing and they put people in front of me and in music and songs in my ears. And that was the first one that popped up. And I was like, Garth Brooks and George Strait have a love child that I didn't know about.
It's the weirdest. I mean, yeah, I came up on Garth and George, but like everything we put out, somebody will share something, strangers, like just fans, people on their own going, Garth Brooks and George Strait had a music baby. Here he is. And I'm just like, that is far higher praise than anybody will ever be deserving of. I'm like, I'd like to think we've got our own lane, but you emulate your heroes and shit. I just did a video of Write This Down by George Strait. Those guys just fit my pocket. Like of all the songs that I got to cover, whenever you're learning new stuff, like the George and Garth stuff and a lot of Tim McGraw's stuff, I'm like, well, this is easy. This is just easy for me to do. It just naturally, I go like this with those songs. So
you have the voice for it. It's that kind of calming, cool voice. It's fun to listen to. It's easy to listen to, so, and dude, the on-stage presence, first and foremost, is something I talk about with every artist I have on here. I've watched some of your guys' videos. You're an animal. And I don't know how you do half the things you do in Carhartt bibs and what looks like to be steel-toe boots.
Yep. Well, I wear their Carolina loggers. I'm a 12 triple wide is my foot size. So a lot of the times I'm doing 13 double wide, but Carolinas are the only boots besides like custom made Red Wings that I can find that are doing triple wide boots. And I like I do the high ankle support and the hard toe because like you said, it's rough and tumble. I mean, I'm throwing hay bales on stage. I'm picking my guitar player up on one arm, man, like walking him around with him and stuff. Yeah, it gets physical. I got to be ready to go. If I roll an ankle up there, everybody's fucked.
Yeah, there goes the show. Now you're sitting on a bar stool singing the song.
Yeah, I can't do that. I'm restless up there, man. I can't help myself.
Yeah, you're climbing stages. You're doing the work. I mean, it's just like this man is out of control.
I know. I got to rein it in. I haven't named the other guy yet, nor have I met him. But yeah. I'm serious. When we got a good crowd, I black out. There's no greater high.
Yeah, that's part of the. Like I said, we talk about this with every artist I have on here. That stage presence. You hear the songs, you hear the music. Yeah, you want to go see them live. You want to hear them live, but you also want to see a show.
Can you feel it?
Yeah, exactly. I want to see a show. Like, don't just stand up there and sing your songs. Give me something. I want to be energized. If you're energized, I want to be in the crowd, jumping up and down, singing along, dancing. Whatever the case may be.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's what I'm all about. Now I taught myself how to play when I was 15, watching the Garth Brooks Live at the Wynn box set when he did like 3 hours of a majority of it was covers, probably 70% covers of all the songs that inspired him, like little pieces of them and telling stories and stuff. I I mean there was a point in time like a 17-year-old Eli could have like done the Great Value version of that whole show. I had it like memorized, and I taught myself how to play guitar watching it. I had the PS2 and I'd rewind it little by little and play it in slow motion and sit there and figure out what his hands were doing and stuff like that. So it was definitely very influential in the way that I do things. I can't quite get away from it, but hey, whatever.
Hell yeah, that's that Blame It on My Roots was a great concert. It's a great album. That's a great box set. I'm a huge Garth Brooks fan. I have
Oh, yeah.
still to this day I have every Garth album out there. So even
He had the best songs.
yeah. So but just to dive into, hear the songs and the music that influence artists is always great. I mean, I think it's pretty easy to pinpoint some of your influences and the artists that influence you. But are there any others other than Garth that come to mind for you that you?
Yeah, I'd say the three guys that hung the moon are Garth, George, Tim McGraw. Those are my big ones. I was and still am, especially with his first 2 or 3 albums, Chris Young. Chris Young, when Chris Young was doing voices, and Tomorrow, When She's On, Who I Am With You, The Shoebox, he had a lot of really like awesome timeless songs. All those guys had it. Maybe that Garth probably, in my opinion, had the closest catalog to like even his album cuts were like those timeless. Like this song could get done again in 100 years and it's still gonna be good. You know what I mean? But like, yeah, I think Chris Young, especially with Voices, Tomorrow, Who I Am With You, When She's On, stuff like that. Those were songs I was like, shit, George Jones could have done these songs. In 100 years, somebody can come out with Voices again, and it would still be awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no doubt. And like you said with Garth, those are songs that even now, it's been a good long while since somebody could cover something on the album that wasn't on the radio, and it's still and then it blows up on the radio, and it's like, oh, why does this song sound so familiar? Somebody just did that not too long ago. It was a rock band did a cover of like a Depeche Mode song, and it was killing me because I knew that song, and I had to rack my brain, and I'm like going through all these songs in my head, and I'm getting on the Google box, and I'm like, what is it? This is not an original song. I know it's not. It was all over the radio, but yeah, same thing with Garth or George Strait or Clint Black. A lot of those guys, they have songs that were on those albums that didn't
undeniable,
and that 100% be that song for a new artist or an up and coming artist.
Yeah, like when Disturbed did Sound of Silence. One of the guys that are doing that now. A lot of Luke Combs' album does to me. When It Rains, It Pours. 5-Leaf Clover. There's a lot of songs in his catalog that could get reimagined and be amazing. And I think that's the mark of a great. You have to have that level of catalog. Beyond the marketing and the brand and being a pretty boy or whatever it is that makes you attracted to the masses, you've got it at the core of it. You've got to have like, shit, man, that it was undeniably an awesome song. Can we play that again? I can listen to that 3 times. You know what I mean? Like Luke Combs is probably the first time. Cody Johnson's had a couple that were like that, but Luke was just tune after tune there, especially when he fired out of the gate with songs that were like, dude, I've got to listen to that like 5 or 6 times. I've listened to this song 25 times this week. You got to be doing that to people.
Yeah, Chris Ledoux was one of those guys. You had his, this old Cowboys hat. I probably when the first time I heard that song, I probably listened to that song 50 times. And now, if I randomly catch it and it comes up on one of my playlists, I'll go through and I'll listen to it 5-6 times in a row.
Can't help yourself. You can't get over it. The Cowboy and Me by Tim McGraw is probably right now. I think it's my favorite song of all time. That and Wildfire by Michael Martin Murphey. But like the Cowboy and Me, I've worn the needle out on that one probably 250 times in the last 2 years, and that's not a joke. So it's like a once every 3 day song for me. I can't stop. I'm like, I got a script. I know the whole guitar solo, like I'm mouthing it and like air guitaring it. I can't help it. And I'm like, that's the mark. This is what we need to do. I'm like sitting there listening to this song going, will I ever have a song that somebody else loves as much as I love this song? So, yeah.
Hey, you just might. Like I said, Dance for Me is one that I really like. And Dollars on the Wall.
Jesus. Bam. That's the whole band's favorite too.
That is such a fun fucking song, dude. And I'm gonna play it later on. I'll probably close the show out with it. But that's just a fun song. It's a fun story, and it's true. And I grew up in middle of nowhere, Podunk, Ohio, and I seen my boy Chris Pierce was in here. Wally, he grew up in the same area. And even my town that I live in now, we have those bars. They're all over the place. It is. Oh, I know exactly where he's talking about. Not for your personal experience, but for mine.
And it's the story behind the songs. I've always found, like, yes, a song needs to stand on its own, but as a performer, I'm a performer first and foremost. Like, I'm an entertainer. I love, and that came from the Garth thing. The way he set those songs up, especially being so impressionable when I was young, watching those things. I loved the songs before he even started singing, because of the way he set them up, and that I've taken that with me to my live show, and what I'm getting at there is we did a show at the Mississippi Moon Bar in Dubuque, Iowa. Beautiful venue, by the way. Anybody watching this, if you're going through Dubuque, go to Paul's Tavern, get a cheeseburger. They're $4, and the place has been around since like the 1800s. And they got this big iron grate drawer on them and a polar bear on the ceiling. You got to go in there. Just go to Paul's, and then you go to the Mississippi Moon Bar, and it's like this. It's huge stage, big, huge oval stage with the arc. Like, it's just all decked out theater stage with the lighting. And then you got a honky-tonk dance. I mean, you could fit 50 dancers, 50, 60 dancers, like doing the line dancing or two-stepping on the dance floor. And then conversation booth facing the stage, like Texas honky-tonk style seating up around, like elevated above the dance floor. And then a fucking theater seating, double-decker theater seating with VIP booths up on top and the VIP rafters on the sides.
Wow.
And you're just, dude, when you get in there and you got a full house, you're just going like, what? You feel like you're in an arena. And you can only fit 500 people in this place.
Damn.
It's awesome. It's one of the greatest built theaters I've ever been in. I mean, it's just a treat. But anyhow, we're in there, we're getting the show going, and I do this Dollars on the Wall hit for us. Like, it hasn't like a boom, in the grand scheme of things. But I told the story about how the song came about. I just opened the show where the band's vamping, and I'm like telling people about this barn that I grew up in, where my granddad's been bringing me in there since I was knee high, and it was an old sheep shed that got turned into a honky tonk. There's a waitress been working there way too long. Her name's Marcia. She comes to the shows. Yeah, and that like little minute clip, they don't even get they get that come on in, and that's it. That's all they get of the actual song. But the video of the setup of the story is what took off. And I'm like, of all shit that's going to make one of our songs take off, it's going to be the story setting it up, not the song itself.
You got to find that right thing at that right moment that really just kind of sets
I'll take it. It's on brand. It makes sense for me. So
it's right there. It's funny that you said like the stage presence and stuff like that. Because I just told my girlfriend as we were getting ready to start, I said, this kid's got like Garth Brooks energy when he's on stage. That's what you remind me of, and watching some of the videos and some of the live concerts. But yeah, man, and especially in today's world with the internet and social media, you got to have that one thing that grabs people's attention initially, real quick off the bat. And if it's that story, if it's that, come on in, whatever it is, and then they stay. Hopefully they stick around and they stay and they listen, it is.
But my biggest thing with socials, to your point, has been how do we get this live show on people's phones? Because I mean, it's weird to talk. I am my own product. I tell the band, I'm like, we are my pillow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We've got to, people got to know who we are for this thing to work. So I'm like, how do we get this larger than life show that we're trying to put on, doing our best to I tell the guys before the show, I'm like, outperform me, beat me. Like, take the reins from me. I dare you. I'm picking you up over my head and doing the worm. I mean, unless one of you guys has got a backflip up your sleeve, I don't see you doing it. Let's go. I got your dance cards, boys.
Yeah, you get the guys out there trying to upstage you. You might have to start looking for backup band members.
Well, dude, I'm here for it. I want them stepping out, taking that limelight, and sawing that fiddle, and just going nuts. And it makes for such a fun show, and everybody's bouncing off each other like you feel like just atoms up there, just. Yeah, it's collision sport up there, man. You got to watch out. You go to Faster Horses show.
Be careful.
But I'm like, how do you get that on the phone? How do I relay that message of how crazy what we're doing is to the?
You just gotta, that's a crazy thing. Like I said with social media is, it's a necessary evil. We love it. We may love it, but we also hate it at the same time as an entertainer. You have to get your stuff out there. And that's where it is today. The radio stations are still there, but hell, even most people listen to music anymore on their phones. It's streaming rights, whether it's Spotify or YouTube Music or Apple or whatever the case may be. I listen to talk radio, not old man talk radio either, kind of what we do here on the network, just kind of, fun radio to listen to. But once those shows are done and over with, I'm listening to music on YouTube or whatever the case may be. So yeah, it's a little bit different monster today for musicians to get their art out there, music out there, and finding that right algorithm, that right timing, whatever it is, or that right thing. It's
and having everything you need to back it up. Being able to display it over and over again the right way, and get the you got to have a quality product. I call it a product. It's because what it is. It's what we're doing. It's what we're selling is our music and our passion. We got all that has to be in line, but then after that, everybody's got to be aware of its existence. You know what I mean? So if they don't know, they can't care.
Yeah,
how do you make them know?
That's the catch-22. You got to be crazy and you got to post that stuff.
You're right.
No, man. And it's one of those things, sometimes it takes a while, not everybody's going to get that real quick, that dynamite explosion to the top, but it seems like there's a lot of those people that hit fast and hit hard and blow up on the social medias, their quote unquote 15 minutes burns out pretty fast. So
I think you do have to have that decade grind to understand it. And you can't appreciate it if you ever do get there, if you don't have to earn it. It's like if it's just a normal thing, to be selling tickets and famous to these, if it's not something that they had to bleed for and feel like they drowned for years to get to, then they're not going to appreciate it when they get there, and that's going to relate to the fans.
Well, and a lot of times it feels like they get their blinders on, kind of like a horse. They get their blinders on, they get tunnel vision, and then they're just phoning it in. There's no passion there,
Yeah,
and it's like, why did I just spend, $100 for a concert ticket to come see this when I could have just sat at home and listened to the music and put on a better show
exactly.
in my living room.
Yeah, I mean, like for instance, with me, I always do VIP experiences before our shows, to meet people, and then after the shows, I'm down in the crowd. The band, it's mandatory. Everybody grab a marker. We're signing autographs, so these people are done with us, and we're gonna take pictures with them and love up on them and have conversations with them and shit, dude. We could have been playing in an empty room tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, we could be not getting paid right now. This could be a lot worse. There's a lot of people who would love to be up here playing in front of, we've been fortunate enough to get in front of thousands of people sometimes.
yeah.
Like, you don't think half the dudes out there wouldn't love to be up here killing a lead guitar solo in front of 1,000 people with all these girls swooning down here right now? What's wrong with you?
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta realize how lucky you are, man. Shit.
Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that I'm learning about, and I love about doing this show is a lot of you guys are independent artists, you local artists, however you want to describe yourself. You guys are all about the fans, and I love that as a fan, because I try to go see as many artists that I have up on here as possible if they come within the area or whatever the case may be, and it's great. I mean, I've gone to see a few of them. And before the show, after the show, they're hanging out. I approach them and they don't act like they don't know me. It's like, let's go get a beer, Glick. Come on, And it's like you got 4 other people with us, just fans, grabbing everybody a drink and hanging out. I love that as a fan. That's such a cool experience to be able to social. It shows that you guys are just real people at the end of the day.
Yeah, we are. We're real people with really cool jobs, and we get to do something that, the music lives within us. At least I'm speaking from my own perspective. Like, I couldn't imagine doing anything else. Like, it's been hard, man. I mean, there's been a lot of hard times. I'm gonna have more of them. But like, I've gotten, and it's really roller coastery. Everybody's on board when you're climbing the scaffolding in front of 7,000 people. But then when it's tough and you're like, shit, you're going beyond paycheck to paycheck. Like, dude, I'm broke right now. Like, I can't come up for this holiday or whatever it is. Especially from home, you get the well, what if you did like a plan B or do this or do that? What if you supplemented with this, or what if you took a year off? And I'm just like, I don't think I'm capable.
Right.
I literally couldn't do anything else. Like yeah, I could probably be a salesman or something like that, but I'm like, I would hate every fiber of my being if I didn't chase this to my fullest potential.
Exactly. That's what it boils down to is, it's like you said, it's easy. It's easy when you're on top of that roller coaster, but when it's time to put that grind, and that's when you learn real quick who the real ones are. When it comes down to, busting your ass and grinding it out and, playing those shows in front of 20 people and only 2 of them are really paying attention. The other 18 are playing pool or drinking or, whatever.
Yeah.
When you, those are the times where it's like, all right, at the end of the day, when I'm playing in front of 1,500 people or, whatever, it's like, yeah, I remember just a couple weeks ago, we were in middle of nowhere, Indiana, and there was like 3 people there. But now, like,
yeah. Yeah. And I mean, like, we were putting on that benefit concert for Spencer, Iowa. And I'm just giving you an example from my not looking for anything at all, but just to give light on that. Like, and there's so many artists that have this same situation, like people that I know, people that I really respect that have these same types of experiences. I met with this kid this morning that I was courting to be our new lead guitar player. That's a whole other story. We'll get into that. But he told me about how he lived in a van for 2 months. Shit, when I moved to town, I lived in a van for 2 months. When we were putting on the Faster Horses flood relief concert, we raised money with Habitat for Humanity to build homes for Spencer, Iowa, but I'd go and do that, and I'd come back down home to Nashville, and I'd be like, dude, I'm eating peanut butter and tortillas down here.
Yeah.
I'm like raising hundreds of thousands of dollars in one world, and then I'm like down here like figuring it out hardcore, like counting change down here, and I'm just going like, holy shit, this is weird. Yesterday, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, it's like I'm a nerd, so you'll have to excuse me. It's like the comics, the multiverse in the MCU. So
Yes.
how in the hell? But no, speaking of the Spencer Iowa thing, that song "Flood" that you did, that is a really good song. And the first time, actually, let me rephrase that. Every time I've heard it, I get goosebumps. I get chills.
Thank you.
Not only that, how cold was that water, and how long were you in that water? In the
I was
music,
in there a long time, and it was freezing. It got dangerous. I was looking at the video now. I'm like, I'm a shithead.
Yeah, it looked like it was cold. I'm like, my guy looks like he's a little cold in that water.
Yeah, that dude. It was. You know, I had this. So, oh, where do we start? So anybody that's you know we're just meeting for the first time. We were opening for Trace Atkins at the Clay County Fair, and my uncle Andrew, who's from Spencer, Iowa, where the Clay County Fair is, calls me up. We're driving up from St. James, Missouri. I'm driving our bus, and I'm tired, and I couldn't sleep all night because I knew that we were about ready to go play the biggest show we'd ever done by a long shot. And I knew it was a sold-out show. And he's like, hey, we had some terrible flooding up here. You should really say something from stage about that you're thinking about the folks here and what had happened.
Mhm.
And I was like, what the hell are you talking about, Uncle Andrew? I'm freaking out right now. I'm shaking like a dog passing hammer handles. I got 45 minutes to get my show done at this deal. And I mean, like, it's 45 and get out of there. That's how those big openers work. And so I kind of blew it off, and we get up there and we get sound checked, and we get to the point where I'm up in the back of I have a walk-on song, right? So the fiddler comes out and everybody's clapping big and gets everybody going. The whole band's getting everybody going, and he does this big Celtic fiddle reel. And the band sits in. They're, ladies and gentlemen, coming to you from parts unknown, bringing you both kinds of music, country and western. The faster voices. You know what I mean? It's just ape shit right out the gate. And before that happens, I'm sitting up there watching these bleachers fill up 7,000 people. And while those people are filing in, they're showing Jumbotron footage of the flooding that had happened. And I mean, like, you're talking about a 20-foot wall of water walk through this town.
Yeah.
So it's like a 4,000-year flood. I mean, like, holy shit. That luckily it's a fishing town. Like 400 fishing boats live in this town. It like literally all of them were getting used.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. And so the whole place is filling up, and I got my in-ears in, and I'm noticing all these people around me. I mean, grown men crying, like bawling. Like the girls got their heads buried in guys' chests, and guys are wiping their eyes. And I'm going, what the fuck happened? The facial expressions.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gotta perform in 8 minutes, and I've got 7,000 weeping people in front of me. So I know. So I borrowed the phone. Now my cover got kind of blown when I was up there in the back for like the 50 people around me. You know, I'm up there in a red shirt and American flag inseamed overalls and a headset mic on.
Yeah.
Hey, how's everybody doing today? Don't mind me. But I borrowed the phone to the lady sitting next to me, and I call my manager, and I'm like, hey, I'm giving a benefit concert to Spencer. I'm doing it. You can't do that. I'm like, I'm doing it.
Yeah.
And so I told 7,000 people we were going to come back and do what we can. And I had to figure out what that meant after I told that to those people.
Yeah.
And so it was a baptism by fire, man. I mean,
one of open mouth, insert foot, but you just wrote that check. You got to cash it now.
Yeah, so we set up a 501. We set up a sub fund under the 501c3, the Clay County Community Foundation, teamed up with Habitat for Humanity in the long-term recovery program to raise money to build homes and refurbish homes for the flood victims of Spencer, Iowa, specifically. And the whole deal was no administration fees. Nobody's getting paid, not even me. So that's what we did, and it was awesome, man. We built a couple homes with Habitat. We built a shitload of homes. We got a lot of materials donated and stuff. But I was doing a testimonial with a cat named Everett Handy, and bless his soul, he's passed now. He was an old man. You guys can watch the interview, fasterhorsesfloodrelief.com. But this man, old man in oxygen. If I was with MediaCom, we were at the FEMA housing, and he was talking about how the water filled the streets, and then it came up to the tree, and then it was up to his door, and then it was up. He's sitting on his couch with his wife, and then like once it got up to his knees, he's sitting on his couch. He's like, we started kissing goodbye. It was over. We knew it was done. We were going to drown. And he goes, yeah, we were going to die. We knew that for sure. And the way he told this story was just perfectly descriptive and harrowing. Yeah, it was nuts to sit. I'm sitting there like holding the microphone, and I'm like, kind of like, keep it together, Eli. Holy shit.
Yeah.
And it was wild to hear him talk like that. And I walked out of there and I wrote that song. So
it's a great song, man. And it's awesome that you guys were able to do something like that and give back to the community and take, I'm sure your manager was losing their freaking mind, but to be able to do that and put it together and work with the community and come back to the community and talk to the people. I mean, it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm going to brag about this later on down the road. No, it's essential.
I didn't even know if I was going to be able to pull it off. My Uncle Andrew called me up and he goes, if we're going to do this, we're going to have to do it. Yeah. He goes, it's going to be you and me against the world. We're going to go out there and we're going to go start knocking on doors. Oh, yeah. And we're going to raise this money and we're going to do it. So I grabbed a blazer and a cowboy hat and I got in the truck. I got my ass up from Nashville to Spencer, and I spent about 2.5 months, 3 months up there. And I mean, I went into the CEO of Fairway, and I went to like Casey's General Stores and Valero and Van Meter and Echo Electrical, like multi-state, regional, or nationwide conglomeration, like corporations, huge, 1,000 location stores. And I was told them I was on a mission from God. You know what I mean? My Uncle Andrew, we got Blue Bunny in on the deal. It was wild, but I just, I said, I don't give a fuck. I'm doing this for free, and so are you. Fucking, you in or you're out, because this is legit. That's what I hit him with. I was like, this is what we're doing. This is why we're doing it. I'm keeping my end of the bargain up. You in or you out. Yeah,
absolutely. So it's tough for it's when you hit them like that. It's tough for it don't matter how big or small they are. It's tough for them to go, yeah, no, we're going to go ahead and hard pass on that, because you don't want your name on that. You don't want to be on that no-go list. Like, yeah, you're a multi-billion-dollar company. You couldn't cough up a couple $1,000. Come on now.
Yeah, something, and like Hy-Vee did great. So did Fairway, and we got a lot of awesome donations. People really pooling together and giving a shit about folks, and that was the whole goal. But my Uncle Andrew and I, we got in the truck. I mean, he about damn near lost his business. He and I were going at it. We were doing 18-hour days on that deal, which is learning how to do it and doing it at the same time. And I was like, we got into day 2, and I go, by the time we get done with this deal, we're probably, neither of us can be the same ever again. Like, this is gonna be, you know what I mean? It's like a movie.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I could go on and on. I mean, it was such a huge part of my life for the like 8 months there. It almost feels like a fever dream.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. I couldn't imagine having the conversations with people that were affected by it, or that would be tough. And anybody with a soul or with a conscience, it's going to weigh heavy on you to hear
Yeah.
everybody's stories and how they were affected, and it's got to take a toll mentally on you. And that's one of those things that yeah, you can't once it's there, it's there.
Yeah. And I was like, I'm either going to do it all the way. I got on camera so many times, man. I traveled all around the Midwest just promoting it and putting it together and making people aware of it and raising for it. It was a great education. I learned a lot. I like looking back on it now, I'm like, it was a school of hard knocks masterclass. My grandmother says I got my MBA and via the School of Hard Knocks in philanthropy and event running.
Yeah, I mean that is a some people like to dip their toes into the charity world. Not Eli, head first right into it. Like, I'm going to take on the biggest challenge I possibly can right off the gate. I'm like
how could I don't know how I could have gone any bigger. Yeah, to be like within any sort of remote relative reason. But I couldn't do it again, at least not for a long time. Maybe once we're George Strait, I might take another stab at it or open my own 501c3 and do it that way. Or, I know all the inner workings now. I know exactly how a not-for-profit works and how all the inner workings of it go about. And yeah, it's crazy, to have that. 20. I feel like you're not supposed to know the kind of shit I know at 29.
Yeah, no, I mean it's there's a lot that goes into it, and especially on such a so to say, such a grand stage. I mean that was a massive project to take on for your first one. Just fuck it, we'll figure it out, or
yeah, man.
We crash and burn it. It's our legacy.
Yeah, we got to help a lot of people. We got a great song out of the deal, and it was weird how it kind of put me on the map in Nashville too. I didn't expect that. That was something I went to the CMA Christmas party, and I had people coming up and talking about it to me that I like, strangers that worked for the CMA, and I'm like going, what the fuck are you guys talking to me for, dude? I got 1,700 followers on Instagram. I'm not cool yet.
Yeah. Just take it and enjoy it, and hopefully it's one of those things that helps boost the career and get you into places and get your foot in the door, so to say.
But that's not the point. I mean, it'll do what it's gonna do. I have to take what comes with it, but with the flood specifically, the craziest thing, the whole outcome of the entire thing. Yes, we got people in the back of their homes. Yes, we refurbished houses. We helped a lot of families. But right when we got the flood recorded and released, 2 weeks later, Kerr, Texas happened. How you time that? You can't time that.
Yeah.
The song removed itself, in my opinion. And if you go through us posting about it and stuff, the flood went from becoming a Faster Horses song to the Faster Horses are its vessel.
Yeah.
We deliver it, but this song belongs to those who need it. And I mean, Kerr, Texas, it ended up in those people's algorithms or something, just like how you and I came together. And dude, I mean, you're talking thousands of comments of people going, I've listened to this 10 times. I lost my child.
Yeah.
I need this song. Like, this song is literally talked me off the cliff.
Wow.
Like, what? I'm reading these. I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's kind of, it's surreal to have just a song, your art, like, being that impactful on people's lives. I'm like, how is this? It's just such an atypical way for like somebody to start seeing success in music. I'm like, I thought we'd have like a drinking song that was going to go off or something like that. I was like, we have a song about hope against flooding and natural disaster be the one that kind of like goes, "Hey, wow, what's that?" And I'm like, you know
Uh,
what? Maybe that's who I'm supposed to be.
yeah, and sometimes that's people gravitate to songs that they can become emotionally attached to, whether there's a connection or, God forbid, a horrible tragedy. But that's the great thing about music, man. Is it's for the soul. I mean, it really is. I know that's kind of cliche to say, but I mean, as a music fan, Lord knows, man, music has saved me more times than I can even count.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know, so,
Likewise, you've got those special songs, and the thing. And we were talking about this earlier with like Tim McGraw and Garth about how they had these great songs, but maybe not all of them were hits. Is the quality of the songs didn't come down. It was the subject matter that they
mhm.
were doing a song that was for that certain group.
Yeah,
Like that niche of people that need that song. Like this might be a song that, like, let's be honest. The flood comes on and you're about ready to go down and gets a couple beers. You're hitting that skip button. I know I am.
yeah,
I ain't vibing to that, dude, and like getting all my feels on a whistle outro. But for the guy who I mean, shit. Literally, I got people saying that their kids drowned, or maybe they lost their home, or maybe it's a smaller thing where whatever the situation might be. That song is like becomes their anthem.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
and that's, I mean, like you said, yeah, you're not going out on a Saturday night and go, "Hey guys, I got a great song to listen to before we go get hammered," But if you're going through some shit,
If you
whether
need it, you need it.
or you're just going, just life has a funny way of kicking us in the dick when we least expect it.
Mhm.
It could be one of those songs like, I just need to hang out at home tonight. And no,
I need
I
to
ain't never.
sit in the car and go put this thing in park and listen to this fucking song right now.
Yeah, exactly. drink a beer, maybe three, something like that, and just get
Yeah.
my mind right.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's the I think that's a good medium to long story about how the flood came about.
Yeah,
But I mean, it's such a crazy. It ain't. Oh, I had this song idea and I wrote it down. It's like, oh no, bud, this was a multifaceted, deeply contextualized, like year-long process for this song to happen.
it fell in your lap and you weren't ready for it, but you said fuck it.
Yeah, yeah, epic. It was
Yeah.
just like we call them the aliens when in songwriting. When the aliens grab you, you gotta have that antenna up. Larry the Cable Guy said, I've never sat down and wrote a joke. And what are you talking about? I'll never forget this. I think I was 16 years old, sitting there watching when Discovery Channel and the History Channel used to have like those badass. They used to be awesome. They
Yeah.
have all the different stuff on there. Same with the Food Channel. I loved watching Anthony Bourdain, Diners, Drive-ins, and Dives, and Man versus Food. I remember writing those places down and be like, man, wherever we go to this town, I'm gonna go get that giant 5-pound cheeseburger somewhere.
Right.
Um,
I'm
no,
a big guy. The Food Network is like crack to me. I'm watching it. I'm like,
oh
ooh,
yeah.
now I want to eat that.
Whenever I'm going to a new state or a new city, I'll look up the Food Network or go like, Anthony Bourdain, Bismarck, North Dakota, to see if he's been there. Or Man versus Food, see where he went, and I'll go there.
Oh yeah. Anytime I'm in a new area, like we're going down to Florida here in a few weeks,
What
and
part?
down to Cape Coral area.
Okay.
And I mean, I grew up in Ohio, but I lived down in South Carolina for about 10 years, and I wasn't a seafood guy until I moved down to the coast. Now I'm spoiled, and I'm not eating seafood up here in Ohio because
Oh,
I want it with
good.
the fresh stuff right out. They went out that morning and caught it, so I'm excited to go down there. And at work, one of the contractors was telling me about a seafood restaurant down there. He's like, "You got to go," and that's my main goal when I go out of town or go on vacation. I want to hit up the local spots. I want to find the best burger or the best steak or whatever per the locals, and I want to go try it. And if I try something different, I'm always down to try something different.
Yeah. Get something that's the local cuisine. Like when I go to Jamaica, I'm getting jerk chicken, man. I'm from Iowa. I ain't getting a damn steak down here. What's going on?
Yeah,
I'm in New Orleans. I'm eating crawfish and But you know what I mean? Just like whatever is on the menu down there, getting the oysters, whatever. No, but back to Larry the Cable Guy, and this is anybody who's a creative out there. I think you should take note of this because it's been really instrumental, at least for me. And when I go into it, this will make sense. But Larry Gatlin, who I've been fortunate enough to meet and write songs with, has of the Gatlin brothers, said the same thing. But Larry the Cable Guy said that he's never sat down and just wrote a joke. And they go, well, what are you talking about? He goes, I don't schedule a time for influence to hit me. He goes, I've trained myself for whenever that funny thing comes along, I stop whatever I'm doing, no matter what it is, and I write it down. Yeah. He goes, it's hit for me between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. I get song ideas hit me all the time. Or, I've been walking down the street. I've had to pull over in traffic. I've had to, I had a song hit me when I was going to, he pulled through, but we were going to say my goodbye to my granddad. Oh, wow. It was a bad deal. And everybody's crying around me, got the family there. And, the young kids are seeing him for the last time. And I couldn't help it. I had to start writing. But Larry the Cable Guy said he wrote one of his funniest jokes when his wife was in childbirth. Yeah. Like, shit. Sorry, honey. I gotta step out. I gotta make a moneymaker here. Hold on.
Yeah, I'll be right back.
Yeah. Man, it's gonna pay for the house this kid's gonna live in. So we're gonna go get this wrote down. Things of that nature. I just think that if you want to be creative, don't force it. You can always go back. Like the writing sessions, like when I go to write a song or co-write a song, it's typically I'm taking an idea where the inspiration had hit me organically, and then I'm going to cultivate that and tune it and tweak it now that I've got the bass. Yeah. But don't try to force a bass. Try to make something that really hits you hard. Come out in the wild, and then go and sit down with it later.
Yeah, that's the more organic, the better, in my opinion. That's for these types of shows that I do, there's no prep. I mean, I'll give you a little heads up at the beginning before we go live, but I just want the conversation to be real, genuine, and cool. Whatever as it goes, That's a lot of artists that I've interviewed and talked to. That's like, yeah, sometimes it just hits me. I'm out fishing and a song hits me, and me being an idiot, I'm like, oh, like a fishing song, and they're like, nah, like a breakup song, a sad song, like, okay, but yeah, they say when it hits, you got to roll with it. You got to stop everything you're doing and just go.
Yeah. I think Joe Rogan he has talking points and stuff where he'll ask a question, but it's mainly just like apropos, just going off, seeing what's going on. And I love the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't know if you've probably obviously watched him before. He's my arch nemesis. Oh yeah, your number one rival.
But
oh fuck, dude! Can you imagine? Shit. I mean, it'd be like getting on. I mean, he's essentially the podcast version of what, like Jay Leno or something like that.
Yeah, you got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, he is the godfather of all podcasting. I joke around all the time that my goal is to be better than Joe Rogan and make more money than Joe Rogan. Why? Because fuck Joe Rogan. That's why.
I'm in. I think you can do it, Glick. Hell yeah. One part. Yeah,
he got to give credit where credit's due. I mean, he started this podcasting thing and he put it on the map, and he's very successful. I love him in the UFC. I love him as a commentator. I think he's fantastic. Some of his topics are a little bit too far-fetched for me.
Yeah. Oh yeah, totally. I've hit skip on a lot of them. But there's some. He's done a lot of country singers. Where he really gets into kind of like how you and I are doing, but it's cool to watch a guy get to pick Luke Combs's brain, or Charles Wesley Godwin's brain, and like going, okay, how'd they, my mind is always going, how'd they do it, What? Yeah, obviously you got to be good enough. You got to have the songs, you got to have the catalog, you got to have the show, but like, okay, now you got this. How'd you turn it into the successful business around it.
Yeah, how did you navigate that train, successfully without derailing it, and,
Yeah,
killing
exactly.
it, catching everything on fire? But yeah, no, it's crazy thing, and it's wild to kind of have that opportunity, and for Joe Rogan or any podcaster out there, that has the opportunity to get to sit down and talk to artists, no matter what they do, whether it's music or stand up or movies and television or whatever the case may be, but to be able to just kind of pick their brain and see, where exactly were you guys doing, or what were you doing? Why did you decide to? What was that turning point for you that was like, hey, you know what, I'm going to do music?
Yeah, and sometimes it's just in them. You know what I mean? Charles Wesley Godwin was. I resonated with him a lot because I've been dirt broke, like he says, like he talks about. He talked about living in his car for like years, and I'm like sleeping in the back seat of like a Camry for years, chasing it. And I have to keep that open mind that, like, when I'm having these stories, and mom calls me up and I'm in like a leaky trailer, or like I'm living in the van, or what whatever it's been in the past, like, that is so abnormal. They're like, what the fuck are you still doing it, dude? What's wrong with you? And like, normal people who don't have this insatiable burning, like, I have to do this,
Yeah.
thing, that's just like, I don't have a choice. I have to do it, um people who don't have that, they can't get their head around that kind of instability, and that kind of, like, just willing to grind that hard.
Yeah, exactly. That's there are too many people. Real quick, I don't mean to.
No, yeah.
What's Chad? I see you guys in there. I see all y'all. Daniel.
How many folks you got in there?
There's about 5 or 6 people in there.
What's up, guys?
I see y'all. Yeah, all of our shows are always live. Sometimes the conversation kind of takes over, and then I feel like I neglect the chat. But I see you, Chatters Box. I love you guys. Thank you for watching, and we'll hit up some of your questions here in a few minutes.
Yeah, but hey, hit me with a question. Sure. Enough about you guys. Let's talk about me for a little while.
No, yeah, that's the funny thing is, like we kind of said earlier, the ones who want it, man, they're gonna blood, sweat, and tears. You're gonna, you might ruin a relationship or two because of what you want to do. You might.
Oh, I've burned a lot of bridges, bud. Fuck.
I'm right there with you, brother.
Ah, shit. Sometimes you just got to.
Anymore, I got a can of gasoline and a pack of matches with me. I'll burn a bridge real fast,
Oh, yeah.
Screw it. It is what it is,
You gotta do what you gotta do. Keep moving. You'll be all right.
Yep. At the end of the day, it'll all work out the way it's supposed to, and it'll all it'll go accordingly. I'm kind of in the mindset of, I'm done. I'm gonna let the universe take over, and whatever happens, happens. And some of the other artists are like, yeah, we're just doing our thing, and what happens, happens at the end of the day. Cool.
See, I come from. I can't relate. I come from. So my dad was a 2-time national champ wrestler at the University of Iowa. He went on to win the U.S. Open and get a silver the World Cup, and he's a head coach on he's the head coach for the heavyweights on the Olympic team, and he's on with Titan Mercury, and it's just, he's had this amazing. I was raised, and the reason why I'm telling you this is I was raised my whole life. If you ain't first, you're last. Yeah. This is what it takes to be a fucking winner. My dad wrestled his way off the farm, and when I thought I wanted to be a wrestler when I was a kid, and he goes, all right, well, you got to wake me up at 4 a.m. every morning if you want me to train you. Yeah. And I mean, you talk about like opting to get mauled by a bear every day, and and stuff like that. So I've always, from a young age, just been like, I want to be the best in the world. I want to be the very best. I want to be that guy that once I get on the map, I want to win every CMTA Entertainer of the Year award. I want to win it. I want to be that guy that, I'm crazy enough to say, I now the likelihood of me achieving this or not is a totally different story. But I'm like, I want to beat all Garth Brooks' records. I want the 15 Entertainer of the Years. I want to get the 51 number one hits. You know, fuck it. Somebody's gonna have to do it. Let's do it.
Yeah. No, I get that. I mean, people think I joke. You know, I really do have my sights set on Joe Rogan. That's my target. You know, is go big or go home. I like that mentality.
Have you ever studied his stuff and been like, okay, what's he doing that's winning? Why? What makes it so good?
I've listened to some. I have kind of dove into the Joe, and this is man, it's tough.
Because I dissect shows. Like, I'll watch people who are beating me, like beating my game, and I'll dissect what they're doing.
Yeah.
Like how are their socials winning? Why are they winning? What are they doing that's making them more successful? Like, why? How are they beating me out right now?
That's what I'm doing right now.
What are they doing in their show? What can I steal from them?
Yeah, that's what I'm doing right now with some other broadcasters and whatnot. I just find myself getting very frustrated. I'm like, really? This is so fake. But but sometimes you gotta play the game in order to.
Well, what's authentic to you? You know what I mean? How do you get your stage to the phone? Just like how I'm trying to get my show to the phone. You know what I mean? How can you make them feel the same way?
Yep, and that's the thing. Just I'm over here throwing shit at the wall and seeing what sticks. But that's the fun thing. Like we said earlier, I'm staying on the grind, man. I try new things. If something's not working, I'm not gonna kick a dead horse, repeatedly. If it's not working, okay, change it up. What do I need to do to make it better? What do I need to do to change it, to bring more eyes or get more ears on it? So, and that means putting more on my plate, and I do.
yeah, I'm in the same boat, man. Do we have any questions from people? Are people listening and asking stuff?
We got one question, which obviously they're coming in late. Shut up, Wally. Where's that? Wally asked, who's some of your favorite artists?
Oh, yeah. Well, we talked about Tim McGraw, George Strait, Garth, Chris Young. I have a lot of songs where the artist isn't my favorite, but there's like, they have songs that I put like at a higher pedestal. Like Hank Jr.'s All My Rowdy Friends Are Coming Over Tonight, in my opinion, is a masterpiece. Michael Martin Murphy's Wildfire is a masterpiece. Let's see. Haggard by the Grascals, masterpiece. Great song, and I'm always looking and trying to figure out, where are the strikes of genius? It doesn't need to be consistent. Being able to consistently repeat magnificence is insane. Like when we're talking about 50 number ones, or like how, like The Cowboy and Me by Tim McGraw is one of my favorite songs of all time. Like, to be able to consistently come out with songs that good is like, if you could get one that's just like timelessly magnificent like that, you're already in the top 0.0001%, know?
Right.
So I search for those in my music, and that's what finds its way to my set lists, or in the songs I cover. Like, a great one's Josh Grayson, like in 2002, had a song called Nothing to Lose.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit. You put that, dude, anybody who listens to Nothing to Lose by Josh Grayson, you have to listen to it 4 or 5 times in a row. You don't have a choice. You're like, I have to put this on repeat. It's so good. So I'm like, okay, so how do we like take all this from all these different artists in different genres and bands or whatever, and then like kind of figure out all these different pieces? What are the similarities that we're going to put into the Faster Horses show?
Yeah.
And look like just a giant conglomeration of badass.
It's just a whole mixing bowl of badassery.
Yes. Thank you.
Bingo.
Bam.
Yeah. And then it didn't go see him, and you get a kick-ass freaking kick you right in the teeth type of show from Jump Street.
Yep. Right off the top. There you go. You can't get yourself some of that at home, I tell you that.
Yeah, when you guys do covers, and I'm digging your covers. Do you and this is more for the audience, not so much me.
Yeah.
Do you guys try to make it your own? Kind of give it your own flavor, give it your own twist, so you're not exactly copying, their version or the artist.
Depends on the song. It depends on the part of the song, especially in the arrangements. We add and omit things all the time and embellish things. Where I'm like, so for instance, in Seminole Wind by John Anderson, that was Joe Spivey on the fiddle, who did that big haunting fiddle intro that's super iconic. Our bass player, Sam, and this just organically came about, but I apply this thought process to just about every song we do. I try to do something like this. He starts playing that fiddle reel, boo doo 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 doo, like the fiddle. It's the fiddle line, but on the bass. And I'm like, guys, let's put like a rock and guitar solo in the middle of this. Sam, do the fiddle solo for the bass line. And so you've got this alligator and the guitar, and big Telecaster starts whipping, lots of hits, high end solo, and the bass player's going boom boom doo doo doom doom boom doo doom boom ba doo 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 doo, and it's just like, what the fuck?
Where did that come from?
Yeah, it makes you want to do a backflip. And so I try to that kind of thought process. It's something I'm always going, how can we make this song without taking what made it awesome? How can we take what made it awesome and re-implement it and reimagine it into the song in a way that makes it better?
Yeah, exactly.
At least in our opinion.
Yeah, there's that's always cool when artists cover a song, and this doesn't go for Five Finger Death Punch because they should stop covering songs. But when they kind of like you said, you reimagine it, you put it through a filter, and you have what made the song great, but then you add your own touch to it. There's a band, Blacktop Mojo, I'm a really big fan of, and they did a reimagination of My Girl. And My Girl's kind of an upbeat song. It's a fun song. They turned it into a breakup song.
Oh, wow.
Kind of eerie vibe to it. Real kind of.
Send me the link. Can you write that down to send me the link? I don't have a pen. Otherwise, I would.
Yeah. I'll actually send you the video.
All right. Yeah, send me that shit. I got to hear that.
I'm going to write it down.
You got to listen to Haggard by the Graskels. And so does everybody else watching this deal.
Yeah. I got my little notebook here. I told you I'm old, so.
Yeah, good. I write down shit all the time.
Graskels.
Oh, man.
So
is it Central Standard Time there?
Eastern Time.
Okay, cool. So you're 10 o'clock. You're getting close to, you're 9:20 over there.
Yep.
You're a trooper, dude.
Oh, man, I do this 3 night. I do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 2 shows on Saturday, and the Saturday night show is 6 hours long.
Is this all you do?
Oh, God, no. I still have a 9 to 5.
Wow.
I would like for this to be all I do, because once it becomes all I do, I'll be doing a lot more shows. And then I do 2 shows on Sundays as well. So
cool. What's your 9 to 5?
I'm a maintenance guy. I've been in construction pretty much my whole life, since I was 12, 13 years old. So I do building maintenance, and it's kind of it's a chill job. I just started a new one. I'm digging it though, because I'm in a retirement village, so everybody's cool and chill and laid back. They just do their thing.
Yeah, hey man, everybody got to be someplace. I love that for you.
Mm-hmm. My man Wally, he does shows with me on here as well. He said, we'll be doing it full time as long as we keep pushing, and that's my goal. That is my goal. I want to quit my job and sit in front of a computer every day and put shows out and entertain the masses. Kind of like you, you're an entertainer. I'm an entertainer in a way as well. So
yeah, absolutely, man. You got to do your thing.
I've been very fortunate through this show that I've made contacts in other avenues, whether it be movies and television. So I'm doing an acting show. Like I'm hanging out with actors and directors now. And then I have some friends in the comedy world that are stand-up comedians. So now
Yeah.
I'm interviewing comedians. So it's just like I'm making all these connections. It started through this show. So now I'm able to kind of branch out and still cover all the entertainment world. But yeah, it gets exhausting because like I said, 9 to 5 job, and I'm a dad, you know.
You should reach out. You should reach out to a guy named Lance Carpenter.
Lance Carpenter.
Lance Carpenter. He's a #1 hit songwriter down here in town. He's very accessible. He runs a thing called the Music Row Coach, and another guy named Big Vinny. You could get those. Tell them you know me. They both come on here, but those guys would be. I mean, those guys open for Toby Keith for like a long time, and they're hit songwriters, and they've been around the world, and they're cool dudes. I talk to them on a regular basis. Yeah, I think you'd have a heyday with those dudes.
Hell yeah! I just wrote them down. I got all kinds of notes here for tonight.
Cool, man.
I'll definitely hit them up. Are you down in Nashville now, or are you back up in? I gotta shout out to you guys down in Nashville because you guys have a lot of the artists down there have given me a lot of love, and I've had a lot of guests on from Nashville. I always had a good time with them, and to the point where they're like, "Bring your ass down here and let's fucking hang out." It's like Nashville's on a bucket list. I'll get down there eventually.
Cool, man. Absolutely.
So yeah, no, dude. And that's just me. I'm a big music fan. So I listen to all genres, and getting to sit down with artists and especially the young and up and coming new artists. It's just such a joy for me to get to hang out with you guys and get to kind of pick your brains a little bit and hear. I try to keep it. I don't want to do the boring. So when was the first time you picked up a guitar? Oh, that's great. So, why do you do this or do that? Those things come up organically in conversation, and let them come up organically that way. Speaking of things that come up organically, you started to mention you were courting a new lead guitar player.
Yeah, I am. I totally forgot about that. So my boy Colin, man, dude, it sucks. He gave me a call and he goes, I could tell by the tone of voice in the first 5 seconds that something was up. I'm like, what's going on, buddy? And he's like, I got to get a stomach surgery that's going to be putting me out for the summer.
Oh, no.
Fuck. And I'm like, what the fuck? For his own disrespect to him, I'm not going to go into the details. But yeah. But now I'm like, well, buddy, I'll roll you out there in a stretcher if you can swing it, but it doesn't sound like you can do the bus life. And he's like, you need to start looking. He goes, I'm fucked, and so are you. And I'm like, okay. So I got to start looking for a new lead guitar player. It sucks, man, because Colin was really good. Still is, and I'd gladly have him back. And he doesn't want to leave, but it's one of them deals. So.
Yeah. It's one of those unfortunate, like you said, the universe likes to kick you in the dick every once in a while.
Oh yeah, my nuts are up in my neck right now. Yeah. His popped out his ear or something like that. Yeah, stuff him back in, swallow him down. Shit.
No doubt. Hopefully everything goes well for that, and he'll get recovered and get back on the road with you, man.
Yeah, I mean, if anybody's watching this, if you're a lead guitar player and you want to tour, you've got to be really good. I'm gonna be honest with you. My audition, I send you a link, and it's like, the ball's in your court. Whenever you pick your audition date, if you miss a note, I'm walking out.
Oh, jeez.
Don't fuck up. If you can't nail 5 songs on your own timeline, you can't do our show.
Yeah.
But there's no chance that you're gonna make it through a Faster Horses show. You know what I mean? I'm like, that level of homework and intent and just like deliberate like memorization of these songs. I'm like, okay, you did it for 5. You showed me that you can do it. You've got 100 more.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I tell anybody that joins our show, just by the nature of it and what we've built. I'm like, it's a tough show. You can't really miss. You have to be at the level of the rest of the band.
Yeah.
Because the rest of the band, it's like, what we're going to kill Red Mexico and then turn around and like flub a cover song or what? No, you can't.
No.
It's all got to be up there. And if you drop the ball, the rest of the band's so good that everybody's going to know.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? There's just no room for it. We're all kind of in the same boat. We got to be on the same level. So,
yeah. Man, that's intense. Speaking of the shows and being on level with you guys, you got a big summer lined up, spring summer lined up. Are you going to hit the road, or are you going to be able to?
Yeah, man. I mean, we've got like 25. Hopefully, I'm hoping by the time we'll be announcing on Sunday when our tour schedule, and I'm hoping by the time May rolls around, my contracts will all have come in, and I've got about 30 on the books. Nice. So, yeah, it should be a good summer. I called every dadgum county fair in Ohio. Shit, I'm the new kid on the block. I get it, whatever. Yeah. But
yeah, well, I'm
trying to get in your guys' Cleveland House of Blues and all that good stuff.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I mean, there's a nice music scene in Ohio, from Cincy up to Cleveland, everywhere in between, Columbus area, even my area. We've got a couple where I'm at. We've got a couple really nice venues that bring in all different. I'm a big live music guy, so I may go to the bar. I may not be drinking, but I'll go see live music all day long. We got a couple venues that I'm looking forward to seeing what spring and summer they have lined up to. But yeah, there's a couple spots, and hopefully one of them in the next 5 years or so, I'll be putting a music festival together. So you'll be contacted when I do that, because it's all.
Hey man, even if you just need like a rundown, you need to take. We take an hour and you just pick my brain over how to do one. I know how to do one now.
Oh yeah. I'll be reaching out to some former guests for that fact too. Yeah. But I'll be contacting that show when I get to doing it is strictly for you guys. The only people I'll be inviting are former guests of this show. Cool. And I want to do like a 4-day event from Thursday to Sunday. Just kick ass 4 days.
Yeah. Get some big sponsors, make it happen. Do a big old market the shit out of it. Oh yeah, be good stuff.
The cool thing about it is it's out in the country, and they're currently building a campground on the property. So,
bam, good stuff, man.
Music, food, booze, and a place to crash. Nobody even has to leave.
Yeah, love it, man. Hey, brother, I've loved this. I'd be glad to hop on again, but I got to get to a writer's round here in Nash in like the next 30 minutes. Yeah,
you're good. I was gonna say, man, I've enjoyed the conversation. Definitely want to have you back on again. This has been a very easy conversation. There's still a lot of things that I'd like to talk to you about. So we'll definitely talk again. I'll send you some links. I'll send you my number for when you're up this way. Maybe we can have a couple drinks.
Hell yeah, let's do that.
Hell yeah. Guys, go follow the Faster Horses everywhere. They're super easy to find. The Faster Horses. Not hard. Give them some love. Share them. Tell your friends about them. I mean, even watching the videos, it's an absolute party.
If you like what you're hearing and seeing, share it with strangers. Tell your doctor.
Yeah, exactly. Tell everybody. Just play it.
Scream it from the rooftops. Blast it with the windows down.
Yeah, exactly. Driving through town, everybody likes to crank their stereo up. Crank up the Faster Horses. Brother, you have a good one. I'll let you drop down. I'm actually going to play. I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'll come back and do my spiel, and I'll get the fuck out of here. I'm gonna play Blue Bell Bottoms because
do it.
That's a fun little song.
Oh yeah, man. Here we go.
Yeah. Thanks again, man. Anything we can do to help here at the network, don't be shy. Reach out. Let us know. We'll gladly promote stuff. We'll play music, obviously. I'm going to continue to play your music across the network as long as you guys don't care, until I get a cease and desist order. But
you're all good.
But have a good one, man. I appreciate it, and we'll definitely be talking soon.
Over and out. Thank you kindly, my friend.
Yes, sir.
Bye-bye.
Girl, you drive me wild. The way you move, oh, the way you smile. And we all want to know where you got 'em. when you're dancing in those blue bell bottoms. You don't need no red high heels or black dress. You got your own grace and style. You're not tailored up like the rest, and I can tell that you're one of a kind. Oh, you move like there's nobody watching. It's like you got magic dancing shoes. The boys, we stare and we stumble. We just can't keep our eyes off you. 'Cause girl, you know you drive me wild. The way you move, the way you smile. We all wanna know where you got 'em when you're dancing in those blue bell bottoms. Thinking maybe I can keep up. Your hand in mine, we hit it off with a boom. My two left feet barely catch on. Still spin you around like some yarn on a loom. 'Cause girl, you know you drive me wild. The way you move, or the way you smile. We all wanna know where you got 'em when you're dancing in those blue bell bottoms. Back it on up, dip it on down. Girl, I love the way that you do. Yeah, girl, you know you drive me wild. The way you move, the way you smile. And we all wanna know where you got 'em when you're dancing in those blue bell bottoms. Oh, let me out now. Girl, you know you drive me wild. The way you move, the way you smile.
Buddy. Hell yeah. Shout out to Eli at the Faster Horses. Appreciate him coming up here and hanging out with me tonight. Guys, I've been saying this for over a year now. I love doing this show, and now I'm getting into the new shows. I love doing this interview setting. If you want to call it that, it's more of a hangout, more of a just sit down and chill and shoot the shit. But I love it. Not only that, but hopefully you guys are enjoying the music. I'm loving the music. I haven't gotten any negative feedback as far as artists that I've had up on here, which is awesome. You guys are finding new artists and new music to listen to. And I'm going to keep doing it as long as these artists are willing to come up here and hang out with me. Do appreciate y'all being here. Chad, I see you. Don't think I ignore you. I try to get your comments up on the screen, but sometimes it's hard to chime in on the conversation, and I certainly don't want to pull an e-brake because sometimes you pull that e-brake and it's hard to get back. But we do what we can. I see you guys there, and I appreciate every one of you chatting and listening and hanging out. If you're liking what we're doing here, hopefully you guys really are, and you're watching the replays or you're listening to us on the podcasting platforms or just on our social media in general. Drop a like, drop a comment. Let us know what you think, how we're doing. We got all them social medias, Facebook, Instagram, X, even TikTok. Shows are live. We're essentially live 7 days a week, some days a couple times a day. Now putting out all original content, nothing faked here, nothing borrowed from other sources or anything like that. It's all real, it's all live, it's unedited, unscripted, just the way you guys like it, the Nonsensical Network way. But drop those likes and drop those comments. Follow us on the social media. Let us know how we're doing, what you think, good and or bad. I don't care. We'll take all the feedback from you. Like I said, we got great shows. Mondays are Glick's Drive-In, followed by Speedway Stories with Wally and Johnny Bongs. On Glick's Drive-In, I'm hanging out with actors, directors, writers, whoever's in the music and television world. I'm hanging out with them. Unfortunately, last night, there was no show. Roland wound up getting sick, and we did reschedule them. So we're still going to have Roland back on here very soon, very quick. But I got plenty of other guests lined up on Mondays. Tuesdays, as always, Glick's House of Music. You guys know what I do here. You just watched it. You just seen it. I'm hanging out with musicians and writers. It don't matter if they're in the music world and I can get them to come up here and hang out with me. That's what we're going to do. Wednesdays, another new show, Glick's Comedy Lounge. We're sitting down with stand-up comedians, just conversating, shooting the shit. I did think about maybe offering them up like a 5-minute set, but then I was like, that's not really going to work because we're live on the internet and they don't get that instant reaction. And that's kind of important in comedy. But nonetheless, there will be stories. That's a great thing, man. We get stories from the road from all these guys behind the scenes, and a lot of, surprisingly, a lot of exclusive content on these shows that you're not going to see or hear anywhere else, which is kind of wild. And then Thursdays, Wally and Johnny are back again. They're either talking dinosaurs or other creatures in the animal planet. Or they're talking more motorsports, man. Wally is 100% fully invested in the motorsports world and locking in, and lots of great guests, a lot of great things coming up. Obviously, we're rolling into spring and summer, so hopefully we can get some live events or some pre-recorded events that Wally will share with us. I may try to get out there. Kayla and I may try to get out there and go to some of these events. I love the motorsports world. I may not know much about it, but I'm a fan and I enjoy watching it. So, and then Fridays, I don't know if that's going to become a permanent thing. Excuse me. But Wally is talking about taking over Friday nights and just doing a shop talk show. Just the guys hanging around, shooting the shit, talking cars, talking races, talking whatever, man. Just the old shop talk. I 100% fully plan on what's going on this year. How you doing, brother? I fully 100% plan on coming to watch you run the rough trucks and getting video and stuff like that. We just have to figure out what day it is and if I'm available. But I 100% plan on being there. Saturdays, of course, you got Cash's Corner every other Saturday. Hopefully here very soon. That's something Wally and I are working on. Mainly Wally, but we're shout out to Wally for that. We may have some wrestlers coming on the show. to not only kind of talk about their career, but talk a little wrestling with us and hang out. That'd be cool. And then, of course, Saturday nights is Nonsensical Nonsense. I don't even know what to call it. It's Glick's Asylum at the end of the day. And the lunatics have taken over, and we are acting a fool on Saturday night for 6 straight fucking hours. Unfiltered, real, raw, unhinged anarchy at the end of the day for Saturday nights. And then Sundays, Rick and I are hanging out, talking sports, unnecessary roughness. We're trying to dive into more of the sports, all the sports. Mainly a lot of focus is on football in the football season. So we'll see if we make it outside of the football season this year. If not, we'll be back for the football season. And then another new show, Beyond the Veil, with myself and Kayla, where it's getting creepy, strange, mysterious, dark, twisted, all that stuff, man. Supernatural, true crime, serial unalivers, monsters. Are they real or not real? You know, all that stuff. So a lot of content, a lot of different content to choose from. So absolutely check us out. That's probably the most scripted show on the network because we actually have to do our homework and we actually have to prepare for that show. I do have a vast knowledge on a lot of those things, but you know, we both want to make sure that we have our stats and our you know, everything locked in so we don't get fact checked and go, well, you know, you were wrong. No, motherfuckers. So yeah, a lot of shit going on here, guys, and you're seeing a lot of me and a lot of Wally, and I apologize for that, but no, you're good, Wally. I'm actually gonna get ready and wrap up. Thank you, though, brother. But yeah, man, a lot of content, a lot of stuff is being pushed out right now. I love it. It's exhausting and it's tiring and it takes a lot of work, but I love it and it's fucking worth it. And hopefully you guys are enjoying it as well. So yeah, that's my little rant, my little spiel. I don't think I have anything else. Tune in tomorrow night on Glick's Comedy Lounge. I am hanging out with on the sports thing. Yeah, dude, absolutely. If you're available. If you're available on Sundays, absolutely. Jump up in there. Tomorrow I have on Glick's Comedy Lounge being joined by Adam Arena. So definitely excited to meet him and hang out with him for a little bit and talk a little comedy. Yeah, man. I'm looking at the month. I'm completely booked up all month. Nice. And I'm booked up into April. So, so tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern time, right here on the Nonsensical Network for Glick's Comedy Lounge with Adam Arena hanging out with me and talking about his career, talking about comedy, all that fun jazz. With that being said, like, share, subscribe. You know the drill. Turn on the notifications and don't be shy. We're always on the socials. If you see something, like something, comment and like it. If you think we suck, tell us we suck. It's all right. I got a thick skin. Wally will probably cry, but, you know, that's all right. I'll comfort him. So, with that being said, I'm going to get the flock out of here. We got another song by the Faster Horses. This is their this is a honky-tonkin' ass song. It's fun. It's one of those that pretty much every one of us have a story about one of these places, especially if you're from the middle of nowhere. You definitely know what he's talking about. And it's dollars on the wall. So I'm going to get out of here. Thank you guys again for watching. Thank you guys for hanging out. Tune in for the rest of the shows. Check out the rest of the network. Yeah. Be good. Be good at it, baby. Let me hit these.
1, 2.
in, sit on down. In this honky-tonk little hole in the wall, everybody in this town we call home. It's the place where the truckers, hippies, cowboys, and the farmers go to drink. My granddad's took me there since I was in my younger years. Well, I used to get the chicken fingers, and now I drink the beer. There's dollars on the wall in that old barn where I grew up. They used to raise up sheep, now they're raising up a cup. The neon's faded, glow reads built 1932. Well, they've been slinging beer since 86, and I'm sure glad that they do. Well, at honky-tonks on Saturday nights, they like to pour 'em tall. So come on in, sit on down, put $1 on the wall. It's time to go. We've shut her down, and Randy's had enough for everybody in this town. Oh, we're good and gone, there ain't no doubt. Well, Marsha's running bar tonight, and she says, get the hell out. Come on, boys, there's dollars on the wall in that old barn where I grew up. They used to raise up sheep, now they're raising up a cup. The neon's faded, glow reads built 1932. Well, they've been slinging beer since 86, and I'm sure glad that they do. Well, at honky-tonks on Saturday nights, they like to pour 'em tall. So come on in, sit on down, put $1 on the wall. Guitar! Let them keys dance, come on. Saw that fiddle now, son? Nice. It's changed hands a time or two. I tell you what, she's seen it all. Oh, the stories this joint could tell if these Washingtons could talk. Oh, there's dollars on the wall in that old barn where I grew up. They used to raise up sheep, now they're raising up a cup. The neon's faded, glow reads built 1932. Well, they've been slinging brew since 86, man, I'm sure glad that they do. And at honky-tonks on Saturday nights, they like to pour 'em tall. So come on in, sit on down, put $1 on the wall. Come on in, sign your name, tack $1 on the wall. That's country music right there, son. I don't care who you are. Dang it. That tune goes out to Ozzy's Old Red Barn down there in Melrose, Iowa. Come on now.